and Science Volunteer of the Year award to Tom Bell. At the beginning of the year, Tom, who is a member of the Watershed Association and also is deeply involved with the Weir River Watershed Association, came to us with the idea that we could record our herring data more efficiently by using an app that our volunteers could use. And also was very interested in documenting whether or not there were fish coming up the Weir River and making it further upstream. He recruited volunteers to monitor the stream even in the middle of the night up in the Weir River, and developed this app that turned out to be extremely helpful and prescient for our strange herring count season, because it allowed us to collect data without having to have shared data books or really much shared equipment out at the herring count sites. So it was very fortuitous, very serendipitous, and I'm very glad that we were able to leverage his assistance. So I would like to present that award to Tom Bell. I'm gonna unmute you, Tom, so you can say hello. All right, let's see. You there, Tom?
There we go. I'm really honored by being honored by the North and South River Watershed Association. You guys are a really premier institution here. And I would say that we had our own group of volunteers here, and it would be remiss not to mention that we had a large number of people from the community that came to our aid and helped with the herring count on the Weir River. Also our midge larva count on Straits Pond. And I was just an organizer in a sense, but also a participant. But really there were so many people in our community that stepped forward and literally spent some nights up till midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning counting for 2 hours, even in rain and snow, counting herring on the Weir River. And we're very pleased to say that many of them, not all of them, but many of them saw at least one herring. We have high hopes for the Weir, and we're going to continue to push for improvements to the watershed there. Thanks a lot, you guys. I really appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, Tom. And now I'm going to pass it back to Sam to give a few more thanks.
Thanks, Sarah. And I personally want to thank Tom for his efforts on the Weir and to make that app that was so useful this year, to being able to provide a way for us to use our phones to collect that data. Also want to let you know, Tom, that there's a gift certificate with your name on it that will become forthcoming to enjoy, hopefully with your wife or friends, and or to a local restaurant. So we want to give back to the community. We know our restaurants are in need. So with that, I have another person or people that I would like to take a moment to say thank you to. This year, things got off to a little bit of a late start given the pandemic, but it also gave us an opportunity to do some work that we wouldn't necessarily have been able to on our pontoon boat. So I want to just take this moment to thank a couple of volunteers who really went well beyond and above and beyond to help us to make some renovations to our pontoon boat. Our pontoon boat was gifted to us in 2015, and it's a great boat. The engine is fabulous, but the seats were in definite need of some work. And we were so fortunate to have Kevin and Mike McGurl, who gave of their time over the summer to renovate our pontoon boat to make it more suitable for tours. So you can see that from this photo right here that they redid the deck. They took out the large seats that were kind of getting moldy, and they put in these more utilitarian seats. This will also work really well for our young people that we put on the boat, who often go out in the spit and dig around in the mud and then come back on our boat, and we need to be able to wash it off easily. So just a great job that they did to help us really make, I think this is a really cool looking boat now, much more like a tour boat. And I want to thank Kevin and Mike for their hours and hours of effort to make this happen. And so I'd also like to mention, while the boat was out of the water, we were so lucky to have Bill Boulter, who's our current captain. He's the captain of our boat. He actually has a pontoon boat, and as the work went on throughout the summer with our boat, he was so kind to allow us to put his boat in the river so that we could offer pontoon boat rides to people safely, chartered for your pod. And it really helped us to get more people out on the river during a time, I think, when they really needed it. So we were so fortunate that Bill was gracious and so thoughtful to be able to put his boat in the water and keep us moving forward. So I'm going to stop sharing, and then I'd like to ask Mike, maybe Mike to unmute, or Sarah, can you unmute Mike McGurl so he can? So Mike, I just want to let you know we are giving you and Kevin and Bill each gift certificates to local restaurants to both help the restaurants and help you have a good night sometime this winter.
Well, thank you very much. I don't know if you can hear me, or is you speaking, Mike?
I mean, let Mike speak
Go ahead,
first,
Bill.
Bill.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Mike.
Can you hear me?
Yep, go ahead, Mike.
Well, thanks, Sam. I think that I see there's 50 people on this call. It'd be great if everybody could spread the word that the tours that are conducted by the North and South River Watershed are unique and spectacular. And I think that it's great that Bill was able to fill in with his boat this year. But next year, I think the boat is going to just be more suitable for having a good time on the boat. A private party on that boat, bring yourself a couple glasses of wine and some lobster rolls or something, have a great time, or do one of the scheduled tours that have different themes to them. So I can't recommend it enough. The people who go out have a blast. So try to spread the word so we can get some use out of the boat now that it's been modified to be more of a tour boat. Thanks, Bill, also, by the way, thanks for filling in.
Not a problem. When I called Sam, I said, I do have a boat, and I'd be, willing to put it in, because I would really hate to see us lose all of those people, that wanted to come down the river. So it was kind of funny, because I pulled the boat yesterday, and I drove it home on the trailer with all of the signs on it, and I had probably half a dozen people, say to me, I didn't know that you did tours on the North River. I was saying, where were you? And they're like, well, let me write that number down. So I suppose in the spring next year, we may get a lot of calls. And they said, what you should do is just ride around town with the pontoon boat with the signs on it. People might see it a little bit more. So
An excellent idea.
but it was had a really good summer. Gino Fellini, I know he's out there. He's helped me a number of times, with the boat and with things to do. And he's actually, going to fix up one of the things I messed up on the going underneath the Union Street Bridge there with one of the ropes hanging down. He suggested that we cut the rope about a month ago, and we didn't stop to do it because we're a little late going up through. So, but anyway, I caught my top on the on that rope that was there, and it damaged, one of my hookups on the top. So Gino's in the process of fixing that for me. So he's kind of a quiet guy, but he's always around, to help out, when need be. So we need to give him a hey too, so because he spent a lot of time donating and helping me, especially this summer when we went up and we cleared all the stuff off of Blueberry Island. He was right there grabbing all the mucky, gooky stuff that we took off of the island and loaded the boat up and all that. So we appreciate all the work that everybody does.
Here, here. I really want to thank Gino too for all of his efforts, making sure that you were safe after you even injured yourself and still was captaining the boat. And you guys are really so steadfast and so reliable. And I personally just thank you so much because you really make that pontoon boat program work. And I know from hearing others who've been out with you how much they appreciate and enjoy the tours that you've given. So I want to thank you. And I do want to thank Gino for supporting all of that. So thank you very much. And we'll be sending you all gift cards so you could all go out to eat or get takeout if you prefer this winter from a local restaurant. And it's just a small token of our appreciation, but truly we appreciate your efforts. With that, I'm going to move on to our next person that we'd like to honor. So next up is our Barbara Pearson Award winner. If you give me a second, I made a video that I'm going to share with you. Everybody see that? Yeah. Can you see that? Yeah, nod your head. Okay, good. Here goes.
We can't hear it.
Oh, hold on. Why? Maybe if I take this out. Just a second. Share screen. I didn't do the thing I told everybody to do. Every year, the NSRWA selects an individual or group to receive the Barbara Pearson Memorial Award. The award honors those who have done exemplary work to move the mission of the watershed forward. Sometimes the award goes to an individual or a group for singular action, and sometimes it goes to honor a lifetime of work to protect our local natural resources. This year's award is for the latter, and it goes to Susan McCallum. Sue McCallum has been the Mass Audubon South Shore Sanctuary Director for the past 15 years and has served on the Marshfield Open Space Committee for the past 13. Sue has been a great leader of Mass Audubon here on the South Shore, a loyal partner to the watershed, and a great colleague to work with. Her work to care for our local natural resources and educate young people about the value of those resources in her professional life and her personal life as a volunteer has been outstanding. This past October, Sue retired from Mass Audubon, and we wanted to honor the work she has accomplished on the South Shore, particularly here in our own watershed. During Sue's tenure over the past 15 years, she has improved the North River Wildlife Sanctuary and its visitor center by adding green features like solar panels, showcasing native plants, and partnering with us on installing a rain garden at the entrance, and increasing accessibility for all people to be able to visit the center, and creating a sensory loop trail to help those who are vision impaired to enjoy nature. In addition, while Sue was director, she had to add over 270 acres to the South Shore sanctuaries. Some examples include 100 acres at the Daniel Webster Sanctuary, and another 31 off of Spring Street was added to the North River Sanctuary in 2013. Sue was also instrumental in maintaining the local population of piping plovers at the STIP. and working tirelessly through events like Farm Day to engage families in nature-based activities. As if working at Mass Audubon and spending her days working on behalf of our natural resources wasn't enough, Sue showed her passion and her commitment to the environment in her personal life as well. Since 2007, Sue has volunteered as a member of the Marshfield Open Space Committee. And while this is by no means an exhaustive list of the open space Sue has helped to preserve in Marshfield, here are a few highlights of places you may be familiar with. The Pratt Farm on the South River, the Jose Carrero Woodlands on the North River, and the Little Conservation Area on the North River. As well, she was instrumental in our work to preserve the South River Park, which Sue not only helped to save, but continues to work with the Friends of the South River Park and Greenway group to steward. Sue McCallum, we are very happy to honor you, your lifetime of efforts for our natural resources, and award you the Barbara Pearson Memorial Award. In the spirit of helping others, we are giving gift certificates for you to enjoy a lovely meal from one of Brian Houlihan's many restaurants on the South Shore, and a gift certificate to Kennedy's Country Gardens. I'd also like to just take a moment to ask Susan Karen to say a few words about Sue McCallum's work. Susan Karen has been working with Susan on the Open Space Committee for many years. Sue?
Hi, I'm happy
Every year.
to.
Oops, sorry. Sorry, trying to get rid of it. Go ahead, Sue.
Tell me when.
You're
Well,
good.
I have to say that my heart sank when I learned of Sue's retirement from Mass Audubon. It's hard to imagine not meeting her at her office at the North River Sanctuary, a property that bears her thumbprint in so many ways that will remain as her legacy. But Sue also leaves another legacy of work that is not as obvious, except to those that have had the pleasure to work with her on the Marshfield Open Space Committee and as an advisory board member for the Friends of the South River Park. I speak for myself as a former chair of the Open Space Committee and its current chair, Karen O'Donnell, who could not be here tonight. Sue's unwavering commitment to conservation and land protection does not stop when her day job is over. She has rarely missed an evening meeting, site visit, or weekend workday in 13 years, and is always more than willing to take on some of our most time-consuming and tedious tasks to accomplish our goals. She'll put together a 20-page spreadsheet in her free time or pull weeds in 90-degree heat at the park. She made major contributions to some of the most labor-intensive requirements in 2 open space plans during my tenure, work that we could not have done without her help. Sue's passion for conservation is evident in everything she does. Her knowledge and experience enriches and informs every decision made by the Open Space Committee and the Friends of the South River Park. We're better for her presence. I feel honored to have had the chance to work with Sue, who became a friend and always served as a mentor. She is a gifted writer, critical thinker, effective advocate, and a leader that approaches everything she does with integrity, humility, and a sense of humor. You could not have selected a more deserving person for this award, and I congratulate her.
Thank you, Sue, Karen, so much. I echo many of those sentiments. It's been wonderful working with Sue. We're not going to let her get away that easily. Although I'm not sure if she's on the Zoom call. No, she seems to, she was here, but something has happened. So I hope you'll join me in thanking her. If you see her personally, please let her know. Oh, she's entered the waiting room just in time. Sarah's letting her in. She doesn't know what we said about her.
Oh, no.
I've recorded this so we can
good.
share it with her.
I can read it to her privately.
Sue, are you with us? Are you in the room?
I let her in, but then she disappeared and I let her in, so I don't know what that's about.
I think she's having some technical difficulty, so.
Well, if she manages to stay more permanently at some point, we'll let her get a couple words in.
All right. Well, again, Sue McCallum is much deserving, and we'll be sending her gift cards as well. So with that, I'd like to hand it back over to Lori Wolf, who, oh, Sue's arrived. Is Sue here? I don't see her. But so let's go back to Lori with the next thing on our agenda, which is the WaterSmart Video Award winner. Take it away, Lori.
Congratulations to our WaterSmart Video Contest winner, Ben Cammarata. Ben is a senior at Marshfield High School. He's lived in Marshfield his whole life and loves being out on the open ocean or hiking in the forest. Ben only started to put videos together in the spring at the beginning of the pandemic. He's always been fascinated by threatened species, so he began working on a short conservation video for Audubon on bobolinks to raise awareness for their shrinking numbers in New England. Currently, he's volunteering his time to direct and edit short videos for NOAA's Stellwagen Bank National Marine Sanctuary on pelagic seabirds. The narrator for Ben's video was his little sister, Mia. She is 12 years old and goes to Furnace Brook Middle School. Ben said she's always willing to help out with his projects and really loves animals. In her spare time, she likes to paint and plays soccer and does gymnastics. Thank you to our partners in this project, WaterSmart South Shore and Harbor Media. WaterSmart is a nonprofit partnership between the NSRWA and 12 towns on the South Shore: Cohasset, Duxbury, Hanover, Hingham, Hull, Kingston, Marshfield, Norwell, Pembroke, Rockland, Scituate, and Weymouth. Thanks to Michelle Balconi, Kristen Bates, and Kaylee Gilmore from Harbor Media for all of their hard work to make this project happen. For winning the video contest, Ben received a $500 gift card.
Water. It's a necessity for all life. From the birds fishing above the sea to the turtles in our ponds, animals from all walks of life depend on the quality of the water in which they build their lives around. However, stormwater pollution continues to threaten the rich biodiversity of our rivers and oceans. Stormwater pollution is a serious problem which many of us have never thought about or even heard of. Storm drains are connected to waterways and dump anything washed away in the street into local bodies of water. Often unintentionally, waste from our trash bins and harmful fertilizers are washed away with the rain and swept down these drains. Once they reach an ecosystem, the pollutants these drains bring can wreak havoc on the wildlife living there. The beaches where piping plovers breed are now covered in plastic, posing danger to young chicks. The marshes where endangered salt marsh sparrows inhabit are also becoming littered with trash. Not to mention the rivers where the mighty bald eagles hunt for fish and scavenge for food. By taking simple precautions, we can reduce our waste and save the wildlife and ecosystems we cherish. First, start off by making sure your trash and recycle bins are tightly closed at all times. Always pick up after your pet and never leave their waste on the sidewalk or street. And don't wash your car in the driveway. Harmful chemicals used to clean your vehicle are often washed down to the storm drain. Lastly, clear away trash on the road and clear leaves away from the storm drains. Although there are many more methods to reduce your stormwater pollution, these precautions are just a few ways you can help protect and preserve many ecosystems for generations to come. For more information on stormwater pollution and how to prevent it, please visit nsrwa.org.
Thank you, Ben, for that wonderful video. And for his video, Ben got a $500 gift card. Ben, would you like to say a few words?
Sure, love to. So first of all, thanks for hosting this, co-hosting this contest. I thought it was a really good way to get out information because the topics that we were supposed to go over aren't things that people normally think about, and that, like, are little actions like washing the car in the driveway that can go down the drain. and affect all these different species. And as you said in your introduction, I kind of recently started doing this. And well, when I was thinking of what to do for the video, I had all this footage from like months just for no reason. So I just pieced it all together, and I mostly just wanted to focus on, you know, threatened or uncommon, even endangered species in the area, like the piping plovers on the spit. I just wanted to get footage of them because people really disrespect their habitat. I see college kids leave trash there, people peeing in the dunes even, it's not good. And salt marsh sparrows, they're an endangered species, and it's not looking good for them. So again, it's also something people don't really know about. And of course the bald eagles, which just recently moved in to Marshfield. And I was really lucky enough to get access to that nest and see the baby grow up. And I just wanted people to have imagery of these animals so they could see how stormwater pollution could potentially affect them. But yeah, that's about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ben. Your video was awesome. Enjoy your gift card.
Oh, well, thank you.
So inspiring, Ben. Thank you so much for your efforts there. The footage you got was really fabulous. I also wanted to give a shout out to a young man who reached out to us to do a fundraiser for us on our behalf. He ran a marathon on Halloween, Adam Duffy, and he's here tonight. Just wanted to say a shout out to you, Adam, for taking it upon yourself to go run a marathon in support of the mission of the Watershed Association and raising $1,000. It's really inspiring when people do things like that. So thank you so much for your help in doing that. So next up, I'm going to share with you a video that I made about some of our work this year. So will you just give me a second? I can pull that up.
Could Adam say a few words? Well, I
Sure.
muted him.
Yeah, let Adam speak while I try to follow around getting my.
Can everyone hear me okay?
Yep.
Yep.
Well, it's nice to meet everybody, and yeah, it was great. I'll keep it short, but essentially I'm back since May, and just really was using your website and the Facebook and everything you guys do to kind of explore where I grew up originally, and it's been great. So one of my fun things to do is run, and then I decided that, hey, I should do a fundraiser because you guys really helped me out and my family out with COVID. So it's been a pleasure, and I just especially want to thank those of you who donated to the fundraiser. We met our goal, and there's a couple anonymous folks, so thank you, whoever you are out there. We really appreciate it, and look forward to working with you guys going forward. So thanks again, and happy to do it. It was a great time, so thank you.
Thanks so much, Adam. That's awesome. Okay, so next up is a little bit of information about what we've done this year. So hopefully I'll get this to work correctly. You can see this, everybody? Okay. And hear it. This is the 50th anniversary year of the North and South Rivers Watershed Association. We had hoped for a much different venue to celebrate it with you all, but like much of this year, we've had to adapt our thinking. We have reimagined, for the moment, while we cannot meet in person, a series of mini virtual celebrations that we hope you will participate in to mark the organization's 50 years of protecting our local waters. Today, we launched an online auction. To get a link to this, you can text 22454 and do a bit of holiday shopping while supporting protecting our local waters. And we also have a $25,000 matching challenge for those who are able to give funds to help the needs of the organization. I hope you can give as generously as you can. Next Friday, we are hosting an online campfire storytelling event with Jeff Corwin and friends. It'll be Friday the 13th, and the theme is nature, what could go wrong? And tonight and next Friday, we'll share our beautiful film that celebrates the past 50 years and inspires all of us to continue the work of protecting our waters for the future. If I had time, I could tell you all of the things we did this year, how we pivoted to engage people online, how we helped to meet the increased demand for outdoor activities, getting youth and adults out, kayaking, hiking, fishing, and how just this last week, we started to tear down the third dam on the Third Herring Brook to restore native herring runs. But tonight, I thought instead I would share with you a story from this year that resonated with me on this 50th anniversary of the Watershed Association. That is the story of how the North River became the only scenic protected river in the state, and how we must continue to fight to keep it protected. 50 years ago, a small group of citizens was concerned about the health of the rivers and started the NSRWA. They searched for legal tools they could use to enact that would protect the rivers. They found a law that allowed for the state to designate a river as a scenic protected river. To enact this protection, the original founders of this restriction placed on them, limiting how they developed their own property for the benefit of everyone. The founders went to work and hosted small cocktail parties with property owners up and down the river, engaged the development community, the 6 towns along the river, and state government, as well as nonprofit partners like Mass Audubon, to support the designation of the North River. Miraculously, they were able to do it, and in 1978, the North River became the first and only scenic protected river in the state of Massachusetts, making it a unicorn amongst rivers in the state. It is the legacy of that citizen action that has really kept the river so scenic, its wildlife so abundant, and prevented rampant development along its banks. Fast forward to 50 years later. In June of 2020, we heard from the state they would no longer fund the administration of the order. For 42 years, the North River Scenic and Recreational Protection Order has afforded this river special protection, and the implementation of that order has been funded by the state's Department of Conservation and Recreation. This 42-year effort in protecting a treasured state and federally recognized public resource was now in jeopardy as the state unilaterally withdrew further funding without sufficient prior notice or warning to adapt in time. The North River Scenic and Recreational Order led to the creation of the North River Commission, which is comprised of volunteers appointed from the 6 towns abutting the river corridor. Entrusted to oversee the successful execution of regulations consistent with the order, the North River Commission employs a seasonal river patrol and holds monthly regulatory oversight public hearings to review permits for development projects proposed within the 300-foot river corridor. The NSRWA, working with the North River Commission, enlisted our local legislators who were very supportive, but it was clear that more firepower was going to be needed, particularly during these challenging times. We started a campaign, again, to save the North River. In addition to having our local legislators champion the cause, we enlisted, much like they did 50 years ago, our towns, our nonprofit friends, and most importantly, the citizens both on and off the river through an online petition. And within a week, we had over 2,500 people sign from all over the region and beyond. It was incredible to see the numbers of people signing this letter so quickly. It was so clear that when needed, people rose up to protect the river. And the governor heard us and has since reinstated partial funding for the North River Protective Order. This battle was won, but it's not over. There will be further need to make the case for complete and sustained funding for meaningful protection for the river. But it was in the moment of feeling this overwhelming support from people for protecting this river that it dawned on me just how important the actions that were taken 50 years ago were, and how all of the actions since then built upon those. It clarified for me just why it's so important to have a strong group stewarding our local waters, Each day, there are new battles to be fought, and not every one of them will be won. But without a strong voice, our rivers cannot survive, and we need them. We need all of our nature right now. This pandemic has only made the need for nature more clear to us for our health and for the future. I hope you'll both congratulate yourselves for this victory and recommit yourself to the fight for the next 50 years. So now I'm back. So that was, can you hear me? Am I back? Okay. So I just wanted to thank everybody who signed the petition. It really was amazing to see, and we do have the ear of the governor's office now, and that was because of so many of you raised your hand, put it on the petition, or called your local legislators or wrote them, your local select people. And it's those kinds of actions that really make a difference in terms of making sure that these rivers stay protected and our waters stay protected. So thank you for everybody in that effort. So now I'd also like to sort of hand it over to our environmental educator, Brian Taylor. Brian has been part of our growth over the last couple of years to increase our education and engagement programming. And he's going to share with us a little bit of the successes that he had this year, despite some of these challenges that we faced. So Brian, run with it.
Great, thanks, Sam. Thanks everyone for being here and for your support. There's so many people I want to say hi to right now, so maybe I'll send some emails out later, but I'm going to jump right into the video because it's over my 5-minute budget for time. So thanks everyone, and let me get the screen share going here, and away we will go. Be ready. The volume was a little funny when I test played this, so I apologize.
Hello, my name is Brian Taylor, and I'm the educator with the North and South Rivers Watershed Association. The year 2020 certainly has been full of challenges, especially when it comes to educating and engaging people. Many of the programs that I do involve large groups or in-school programs. However, the NSRWA is used to challenges. The organization has worked for 50 years overcoming obstacles and issues, and this year was no exception. My challenge was to continue to get people outside, excite them about the outdoors, educate them about their watershed, and through that, empower them to make a difference within their community. Beginning in spring and carrying through summer, and now well into autumn, the NSRWA has continued to provide people a chance to be inspired, to connect, or should I say disconnect, to experience the outdoors. I'd like to quickly highlight some of the notable programs from this year. Forming and continuing partnerships is a great way to engage new folks and expand our reach. This year, we continued our partnership with Norwell Recreation, providing 2 separate full weeks of outdoor camps to local South Shore area youth. Another partnership, which was new to this year, was with the trustees of reservations. Beginning in June and running well through September, we offered guided paddles out of World's End and Hingham. Both day and sunset paddles. These were a big hit, very popular, had waiting lists, and generated some new members. Definitely going to continue that partnership for years to come. Another new partnership this year was with Ferry Hill Day Camp in Marshfield. For several weeks in July and August, and a little bit of the beginning of September, we ran guided kayaking youth paddles out into the South River estuary, exploring the marshes and islands, looking in tide pools, finding and identifying clams and crabs. This is a great way for young people to experience the vast estuary and see some really cool things and learn about the environment around them and why it's important. Another partnership that was formed was with the Excel Conservation Corps, a youth education program engaging high school age students of Greater Boston in water and land education and career building activities. We went out and they spent their first day of their year-long semester with us going kayaking out on the North River. This group, none of them had ever paddled before. We went out on the North River and performed some water testing. explored local flora and fauna out in the marsh, and discussed similarities between the North River and the rivers that they have close to home, like the Charles, the Mystic, and the Neponset. And we really look forward to working with them in the future. That group was one of many other groups this year that actually participated in Estuary Explorers program. And instead of going out on the pontoon boat, we actually would take groups out in kayak. Other groups that we partnered with for Estuary Explorers was Marshfield, Hanover, and Cohasset Scout troops, and a few homeschool groups as well. By the end of the season, we ended up running 26 Estuary Explorer trips, totaling to 223 youth. That is 9 more than last year. On top of these great partnerships, the NSRWA was able to do something new. We ran our own summer programs. For the first time, the NSRWA offered 3 different standalone outdoor programs. One was River Adventures, which is a similar model to what we've done in the past with the YMCA, but this year we offered a full 5-day paddling program on our own to high school age youth, and we actually took out a group from Milton and explored most of the sections of the North River and the upper reaches of the South River. So we paddled good, I would say maybe about 17 miles total throughout those 5 days, and it was a really great time. Another, and possibly the biggest program that we ran, was entitled South Shore Adventures, and this was my personal favorite. We offered a 3-day outdoor adventure day camp program to middle school aged youth, exploring many locations around the watershed while fishing, hiking, kayaking, and a little bit of swimming too. Laura was the admin behind the scenes who helped with the advertising, website listing, as well as registration, and we hired one of Sarah's former interns to help me run the trips as my co-leader. This was awesome, this program. It really got the word out that the NSRWA is now at the level of capacity to offer full-fledged outdoor recreation adventure programs to youth. We ran this program for 7 weeks. As a result of the success of the South Shore Adventures program in the summer, we continued this into fall by offering a similar program called, you guessed it, Autumn Adventures. We began offering afternoon programs. We are now going on the 6th week of Autumn Adventures, and the program is slated to run for another 2 weeks with interest in continuing it further. Sounds like fun, right? Well, don't take my word for it.
All right, guys. So here we've got Will and Grant from the South Shore area. These guys have participated in both the Autumn Adventures right now, and they participate in the Summer South Shore Adventures. And so let's go back to summer. What do you guys remember? What did you guys do those 3 days?
So we went to North Reservation and we fished. Then we went to Jacob's Pond and kayaked.
Yep.
And then I kayaked a few more times.
What was something you guys remember? Like, what was your favorite part of the summer camp?
Playing camouflage
at
Jacob's Pond. I also remember we kayaked over the island, like the sunken island.
Yeah.
It was sick.
Yeah.
But yeah. That was really cool.
It was pretty cool.
And the underground log, like under the water.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Awesome. So you guys had a good time in the summer.
Yeah.
The summer program.
Lots of fun.
Cool. And then because of that, now you guys joined up with the fall program right now.
Yeah.
We did. What do we do? What have we done so far?
Kayaked at the.
Oh yeah. Oh, we went up to the spit out there.
Yeah, spit. The spit was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, the giant lobster.
That was really cool.
Imagine if you saw them in the water.
And then right now we're fishing, but we don't really have much luck. So. In the wind, yeah. So for the board members, anyone listening, thinking about the North-South Rivers Watershed programs in the fall and the summer and all the other programs that we do, what is one thing that you guys just could say about the programs that you participated in so far?
One word, epic.
I
was going to say fun, but I think epic is better. Epic is better. Okay, no, first of all, that's copyright. Epic. I think it was really fun. Fun, that's so fun. And epic.
Well, those are great words. And I really appreciate you guys joining us. And
wait, but I have a question.
Yes.
Is there going to be a winter program?
That is a great question, and I would like to answer that by saying yes. Yeah. If we did a winter program, would you participate?
Yeah.
Cool. Will and Grant, thanks a lot. Signing off.
So there's a quick snapshot of what we've been up to in terms of education and engagement. I'm currently working to virtualize many of our in-school programs like Water All Around You, and I'm continuing to run guided paddles while the weather holds out, as well as many guided hikes. They actually have a guided paddle coming up tomorrow and a hike on Sunday, which is sold out, by the way. I'm truly thankful to be part of this amazing organization. Being able to educate, engage, empower people on topics that I'm passionate about is everything I ever could have hoped for. I will continue to work hard with the organization through any challenge that we face. I look forward to reporting to you all this time next year, hopefully in person, and talking about another set of success stories we had together. Thank you for the support, and I hope to see you all around the watershed soon. Thank you.
One word, epic. I was gonna say fun.
Cool. Thanks for that, everyone. And yeah, once again, thanks for your support. It was a great year considering, and we made the best of it. And really, our numbers are just as they should be for outreach and engagement and education. So it's been a wild ride, but a lot of fun. And thanks again, everyone.
Thanks so much, Brian. I love that. Epic. That was epic. So great to see kids getting outdoors. You know, if there's any silver lining to this whole thing, it's that the outdoors is a good, safe place for people to be. And the more that we can provide them those kinds of opportunities to understand the surroundings, I think all the better. So thank you so much for your efforts. I also want to just take a moment to thank all of our staff. You know, so much of the year was recreating the wheels, so to speak. Particularly Lori, who is our Director of Communications and Marketing. You know, she really stepped up to the plate to help us make a virtual Great River Race and to help make sure that everything went smoothly. I don't think we missed a beat this year. And Sarah for stepping in to make sure that the citizen science efforts continued. Terry for continuing to go into the office and make sure that the deposits were done and that the administration happened, and Gabriella for all of her efforts to make sure that our fundraising efforts and our engagement with volunteers was continuing. So I just want to make sure that everybody understands that those efforts are behind the scenes are really important, and they're the thing that really makes sure that we can do the work that we advocate for those rivers, and that we can get those kids out, and that we can get the science done that helps us make the cases that we need. So good job to the staff, and an incredible year for us to do all these things. I'm inspired by you all every day, including the board, who really has been great and stepped up to meeting so often with us via this template here, the Zoom format. So with that, I would like us to just be able to take a moment and appreciate the 50th anniversary of the watershed with this amazing film that we have made about all of you, really, and about what it takes to care about resources, and how this Watershed Association has done such a great job, and hopefully will continue to be a strong voice in this area. So we have a beautiful film that I'm going to share with you, made by Trillium Studios. I wouldn't, it's, let me just see if I can bring it up. Hopefully it will be. You can watch this on line. It might be better. But for now, let me just make sure I can get it done right. Sorry, I got the computer set on. Okay. So I want you to sit back, relax, and then after this, we're going to have a little toast to the watershed. So please listen to this beautiful film. Watch this beautiful film. Sorry.
I have been swimming and fishing in the North River for pretty much as long as I can remember. Back when I was little, our parents said, you know, you don't want to swim in the river for too long because you might get sick. You know, we didn't understand things about coliform and all that stuff. We just knew that you couldn't swim in it for that long and you didn't eat the fish. But today, we can eat the fish out of the river. We can swim in the river all we want. It's a cleaner watershed. This natural resource is so rich, so full of vitality, so full of life. Clean rivers don't come by accident. They need people to take care of them.
When the volunteers go out to count herring, they're spending 10 minutes standing by the side of the river or the fish ladder. It's those quiet moments that helps instill that enthusiasm for the vibrant life of the rivers. Watersheds are invisible boundaries to many people. All of the waters of our coast are connected from Cohasset down to Plymouth. These resources that we depend on also depend on us to stay healthy and stay clean.
When I take a group out, whether it be on the river or out on a trail somewhere around here, everyone becomes an explorer. The rivers, the marshes, the water, it's what engages them. They'll understand how it's all connected, and it's through that understanding that these kids will want to help protect it.
I think every member of my generation has to have some kind of relationship with environmental issues. There's a kind of gloom you feel where you feel like you don't have any control over the issues that the environment is facing. Going out into the rivers and the streams helped make these topics real and personal. And then meeting members of the community that care about these issues, what is initially gloom turns to inspiration.
Definitely remember when I was younger, there was always concern about the water quality. I don't remember people shellfishing down by the mouth of the river because I don't think it was safe. It just feels so great to be able to see my kids getting excited about finding clams, looking forward to the meal we're going to have later on.
When I first moved here, the rivers and the marshes just mesmerized me. You can see every color in the rainbow in the marsh grasses. You know, there are times when it's purple. There are times when it's blue. So it's constantly changing. You know, and the more you look, the more you see the changes, and it draws you in.
The rivers pull us together as a community in so many different ways. They might enjoy walking there, or swimming, or fishing, or doing yoga. And when they gather there together, they often find that they have a lot more in common. In the last 50 years, we as a community have realized that we need to protect the rivers and their watershed.
The rivers themselves are simply the visible essence of something that's much larger than that. And like raindrops in a watershed that collect and come into brooks and streams and eventually run into the river, into the sea itself, we all become part of something larger. Together, we have become unwavering advocates for the waters of the South Shore, keeping them clean and plentiful, not only for today, but for future generations. But that work is constantly threatened, perhaps now more than ever. The solution is the same as it always has been. Educate ourselves about the interconnectedness of our world. Engage with each other to solve the problems. Right here, in the places we live and love. Our futures are forever connected.
Well, I hope everybody enjoyed that. I don't think there's probably a dry eye in the house, at least not for mine. Somebody was asking if we could make the submittal any kind of short film festival. Yeah, I think so. So I thought we'd just take a moment now to sort of toast to the 50th. I, for one, am incredibly proud of this organization and proud of and honored to be the director. And I come to work every day knowing that the people that have come before us have really made this possible. And I feel humbled very much by the work of the generations of folks that have come before us. So here's to 50 years, and here's to 50 more. I hope you'll join me with your coffee or your water or your whatever. And I wish I could be there to give you a bottle of champagne myself. Here's cheers to 50 years. We do hope that next year we'll be all able to see each other in person, and we'll be able to have a much more in-person celebration. We're not giving up. 50 plus 1, we can still have a party, no problem, and we'll probably really want one by then. I'd also like to draw your attention again to the auction that we are having. We have an online auction that I think we mentioned before. If you text to 22454, you will get this cool link that brings you right to the auction online. And we hope you'll look around, see if there's some cool things that you might enjoy giving to somebody for Christmas or buying for yourself. And at the same time, helping us raise the much needed funds that we need to keep ourselves able to do this wonderful work and support the community. So again, that's text to 22454 and we'll send you a link to the online auction.
The link is actually in the chat as well.
Oh, very cool, people, very cool. And with that, I'd also like to just open it up for any questions and sort of Q&A. If anybody has any questions that they'd like to pose, please put them in the chat or let us know and we'll unmute you so that we can, you can say your question yourself. We got, Lori's gonna help me moderate that. So if there's any people that have questions out there, here's your chance to let us know. We are always available via email. Please feel free to email us any questions that you might come up with. I hope you do read our e-news and our newsletters. We spend a lot of time trying to make sure that people are well informed. Thank you, Christine, for the compliment. As I said, a privilege to do the job. I'm very fortunate. Well, without further ado then, if nobody has anything further, I guess we'll be closing this 50th. Peter, would you like to say a few words? Yes?
I would, Sam. Just thank you for running a wonderful annual meeting. And I want to give a shout out from myself and I think from our board for all the work that you and the staff have done this year. This has been an extraordinary and trying time for everybody. And I want everyone watching this to know our staff didn't skip a beat. They worked from home, they've worked in the mud and in the river and all over the place. They've worked hard. It's been creative work. We've had to reinvent everything we're doing. Make things like the river race and a fly fishing tournament virtual, and make it all happen with a great deal of joy and determination in very troubling times. So I want to thank Lori and Sarah and Gabby and Brian and Terry and especially Sam for your determined and inspirational leadership. And I'm very proud to work with all of you, and let's do another 50 for sure. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody. And please join us next Friday for our Campfire Stories with Jeff Corwin. They're really good stories, let me tell you. These folks really have spent a lot of time putting together these great stories that I hope will entertain you and inspire you and make you feel more connected to nature. So with that, I think we'll sign off. I want to thank everybody for joining us and thank everybody for all the work throughout the year and the years to make this organization such a success. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Sam.
Thanks, everybody. Take care.